everybody, to the greatest show on earth. It is episode 28 of the Stagler, and oh my gosh, it is a very special episode.
Maybe the most special episode.
It's got to be the most special episode because it's the episode.
It's the first annual
ever in history, the debut
of the Staggies.
The Staggies.
The most prestigious award show on the globe.
Yeah, okay. Oscars, who cares? Like, they say the EGOT, but they forget that it's EGOTs, plural, because they need Staggy at the end of it.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, Staggy.
Yeah, and as far as I know, nobody has an EGOTs.
Nobody. But today, maybe someone who already has an EGOT could complete the EGOTs.
Maybe the first ever EGOTs holder in history. Very exciting day. Very exciting day.
Are you kidding me?
We'll also be talking about something a little more boring, which was the events of the Oscars show.
Yeah, not as exciting as this, but
just to put it out there, we talked about there was a big win that night. Obviously, that was My Octopus Teacher. You know, I feel like that was the highlight of the night.
Huge win.
Getting into it. But I really feel that if, My Octopus Teacher can win, then maybe one day we'll be able to anthropomorphize and project human qualities onto celebrities, and really feel like celebrities are people too. Not this year, but maybe one year I'll be able to feel like they're people.
If I learned anything, it's that if an octopus and a man can become friends, anything is possible.
That's true. Anything could be on the horizon for us.
Anything.
But for now, I'm Justin.
I'm Nick.
Let's get into the weeks. What have you been up to, Nick, with your weeks?
So, saw a few TV shows and one singular movie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start off with the movie, I guess. I went to the movie theater.
Ooh.
And I saw the Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's the name of, the arc in the manga or whatever.
Okay. What does that mean?
It's, the name of the train.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't really have it. Okay.
No, it's just, the train.
I've just never heard Mugen before.
Neither have I. It didn't seem very important.
Okay.
But, so the movie is actually canon to the show, which is interesting for anime movies because a lot of them don't really do that. They just kind of, do their own thing.
So, is there going to be a new season, or is this a continuation, or?
It's a continuation. It picks up right after the end of the first season.
Okay.
And then
Season 2
is going to pick up right at the end of the movie, which is pretty cool. And I thought it worked really well, actually. Trying to envision it as a 12 episode arc just seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it worked really well as a movie, actually. Especially the final 20 minutes. I don't really know how that would have worked. But it was really cool. The animation just unreal.
The show alone was already people pointed at it and was like, "Wow, the animation!" So with the movie budget, I can only imagine.
Because it's from UFO Table. I think that's how you say it. They're one of the most prestigious animation studios. But they did it, and I mean every single frame is just absolutely gorgeous. It looks so good, especially in the theater on the big screen.
Right.
And
is that the only way you could have seen it, was going to the theater?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could pirate it somewhere, but
have someone on their
same
smartphone just recording it.
But it was pretty good. I see a lot of people that their main complaint is that the movie's not accessible to new people. Someone will just be like, I watched this movie, it didn't make any sense, I didn't get it.
Seems a little weird.
And I was like, well, there's 26 episodes of television.
Yeah, that seems like a weird complaint.
So, but anyway, those people are weird. But
yeah,
if you did see the show, then everything's really cool and it makes sense. I think the first half is not boring, but kind of slower. Just kind of building up everything that's happening on the train. It introduces you to a new character, Rengoku, who is really cool. I'm sure he's going to be a fan favorite. And then it just kind of builds his character up a little bit, and then it kind of gets some mind games stuff. Should I spoil?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. If anyone else cares, I'm going to spoil.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, just because... Sorry, that's next episode stuff. but we'll get into that later.
Okay, so basically they're on the train or whatever, and there's people like disappear on the train. So they're like, we need to go to the train to try to get the demon that's making the people disappear
And slay it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, and that's when they team with Rengoku, who's a Hashira, which is like top of the line. There's only like 12 something Hashiras in the whole world.
Gotcha.
And he's like just super like exuberant guy. He's always like, yes, I will teach you everything you need to know. I'm super great.
Okay, yeah.
And so then they're just kind of doing that, and they end up finding that the main demon that's like making all the people disappear, and he puts them all like into like sleep and makes them dream, like basically like a perfect dream.
Oh, like the Naruto.
Yeah, the infinite Tsukiyomi basically.
Yes.
And so there's an interesting dynamic where it's like showing all of the characters like perfect dreams, and like some of them are like serious and some of them are like just like stupid funny.
Okay, yeah.
But
what's the fan service situation looking like?
There's no fan service.
What? Okay, what kind of film is this then? How could it be making any money?
The fan service is the animation.
That's stupid. Of the boobies?
There's no boobies in
What?
Demon Slayer.
Okay, you've lost all of my interest, but continue.
Okay. So anyway, they figure that out and they break out of their dreams or whatever, and they fight the one demon. He's like fused himself with the train, and then the one part of the animation that was kind of weird is I don't know how they would have done it any other way, but they use CGI for like these weird like tentacle things that he uses to like envelop the whole train, and it just looks kind of wonky. Yeah. But I mean, small complaint. I mean, there's nothing you can really do.
Sounds like you needed Saban for that problem.
Saban.
That's a FF6 joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then I was really confused because I was like, oh, I thought the whole movie, because eventually the train like crashes at the end of their fight and like just crashes and stops, and I was like, oh, okay. And it didn't feel like we've been watching for that long, maybe like an hour or so. And I was like, wait, I thought the movie was like going to be on the train the whole time. But then as they're like saving all the people from the train or whatever, one of the upper three demons comes down, and there's like a rank. I think there's like 12 like upper ranked demons, and he's number 3, so he's really strong. And he just kind of like shows up, and he's like, I want to fight you. And then Rengoku's like, the fire in my heart will not go out. Yeah, I will fight you. And he's like, you're really strong, you should become a demon so we can fight forever. And he's like, I'll never become a demon. Phew. I won't do that. And then they have like the craziest fight, and it goes on for what feels like 25 minutes of them literally just fighting.
So as someone who doesn't really know anything about Demon Slayer, what's the fighting? Is it like people fighting, or is it like magic fighting?
Kind of both, but not really.
That's a terrific answer.
Let me explain. So the demons have like magic, kind of. It's called like demon blood art. So they use like whatever they want to use. And then the people, they have like samurai swords, these very specific samurai swords that get built from like very special substance, whatever. But then they have these things called breathing techniques that they can like, breathe in a certain way, and they can like do special attacks. So like the main character Tanjiro has like water special attacks, like breathing water form or whatever. Our dude Rengoku has fire, so he's got like the fire breathing form, and he does all these cool fire moves or whatever. So then they fight for like really long time, and unfortunately it ends in Rengoku's demise.
Damn.
And he dies very emotional death. I actually teared up a little bit.
Did he get to turn into a monkey at least?
A monkey?
Yeah, and then go Super Saiyan or whatever?
No.
Okay.
He gets a whole arm right through his chest. He almost kills the demon. The only way to kill demons is cut their head off.
Okay.
And he gets his head like halfway chopped off, but it's too late. And then the demon runs away, and Tanjiro, our main character, is obviously very upset, and he throws his sword at the demon, and he loses it.
Wow.
It's funny because like towards the end of the first season, he loses his first sword because he breaks it. Okay. And then in this one, he just like throws it. Yeah. And I was like, bro, you're losing your sword all the time. So we'll probably have to make a new one.
And that's where the next season's going to pick up?
Yeah, he just dies, and they're like, oh, this is so sad. And then like the crow tells all the other Hashira that he died, and they're all like, oh Bran, there's no way Rengoku was super strong and he couldn't even defeat an upper rank demon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I thought it was pretty good.
Cool. Seems good.
Another thing that I watched was Snowpiercer. If you don't remember, I spoke of Snowpiercer. This was like basically right when we were starting the show.
Yep.
I talked about the first season. The season 2 came out recently, and I just kind of waited for all the episodes to be out, and then I just kind of binged it all instead of watching it weekly. And I have to say, season 2 is an extreme upgrade.
Nice.
To season 1, which I don't know if I like wasn't expecting it, but I was just kind of like surprised.
Mm-hmm.
The main takeaway from season 2 is that Sean Bean is the greatest human being.
How does he die?
He gets his head chopped off.
Okay,
like
good.
That's dark. He plays Mr. Wilford, who shows up at the end of season 1. Remember, his train like attaches to the other train or whatever. So he's like the leader of that train. He's the guy that built Snowpiercer in the first place. And he is just hamming it up in like every single scene. You can just tell that he's having like the time of his life playing this role, and he's really good. Like I was actually really surprised. You really hate him. He's like a total like sadistic, psychotic freako. And he just plays it wonderfully. If it was anybody else, I don't even know if it would work at all. But he really just brings it to another level. And then there's like just this really interesting dynamic between like now like this whole other world basically is attached to like what is left of the entire planet. And then you have like all these different like politics issues and like tension and stuff. And it's really interesting. And Wilford's like hatching this plan to try to like take back his train, which is rightfully his. I mean, like I guess because he built it. Because you find out like halfway through the season of how he lost the train in the first place because one of the main characters, Melanie, played by Jennifer Connelly, you get like some flashbacks as to how it all went down, like right at the beginning of when Snowpiercer was leaving. So like the Earth was freezing over, everyone was trying to get on Snowpiercer.
That's cool.
And her daughter like couldn't get on, so she's like, oh man, and he's like, oh, I'll go find her. And like they find her and they're like, man, we have to leave now or like people are gonna start like killing each other. And she was like, man, I have to leave my daughter behind. And then they leave or whatever, and they leave Mr. Wilford and his daughter behind, and he's like, you bastard.
He makes it. Can't be too mad.
Yeah, right, I guess. But the main thing that happens this season is they find out that the Earth is possibly beginning to return to its former state.
That's interesting.
Because it's like negative 120 Celsius like all the time. And they find that like it's actually like snowing at like one point, and she's like, I saw it was snowing. They're like, it's impossible, it can't snow, it's too cold or whatever. So Melanie goes on this like mission. She literally jumps off the train, and she has to go find this like station or whatever to like try to like hook up these like satellites that they're launching into the sky to like collect weather data.
Okay.
So she does that or whatever, and then the plan is for her to do that, and then they loop back around and then pick her up. And then they can like get all the data from the train all the time. And Mr. Wilford is like, well, no, I hate Melanie. I'm not going to loop back around for her. But they're like, it's okay because you don't own Snowpiercer anymore. It's to the people. And he was like, no. So anyway, he hatches a plan to sabotage Snowpiercer, and the only person that can fix it is him. And then everyone on the train is like, oh, Mr. Wilford, our savior. And he's like, yeah, I'm Mr. Wilford. What's up, man? I'm the best. And then the season ends basically with they loop back around for Melanie, but Mr. Wilford thwarts their plan, and they don't pick her up, and she just dies.
Aww.
Frozen. But she uses the last of her like heating like things that she has in the station to keep the data like heated up so it doesn't freeze. So eventually they like blow like the first like 11 cars of the train off from the rest of the train so that they loop around, they get the data. But now Wilford has like the rest of the like 1,000 cars, and they're in this little like our heroes are in like the little 11 train car, and they have all the data for how the Earth is beginning to heal itself, and then the season just kind of ends. And so the next one will be they'll be trying to hook back up somehow, and Mr. Wilford has total control of Snowpiercer basically. Really interesting, but I very much enjoyed season 2 of Snowpiercer. It was actually really good.
Cool.
Because I was kind of iffy on this season. Because the first season was kind of like, and I was like, if season 2's like the same,
You're ready
then
to
I
give
probably
up,
might just drop it. But it was actually really good, so I'm going to keep it going. If Sean Bean is still in the show, I will watch it. That's what I will say. And then another thing that both of us watched was Invincible. It just
all
finished
8 episodes.
Yeah.
Just finished. Yeah, Friday.
Like 2 days ago.
yeah.
So yeah, what'd you think of Invincible?
Invincible's it was pretty good, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling that okay, his dad kills the Guardians of the Globe in the first episode.
Omni-Man.
Yeah, Omni-Man, and then you have like 7 episodes of him just kind of like doing whatever. Then he confronts him in the final episode. He's like, "Oh, I killed all those people," and they're like, "Why?" And they fight, and he gets absolutely destroyed. But his dad doesn't kill him, and he just flies away. And that's like a big deal. It's like, wow, that's kind of weird. That's never happened.
Right.
So I guess I'm just... the part of the show that I feel invested in, I feel like isn't going to come back until the end of the show. You know what I mean? I feel like seasons 2 and 3, which it's been renewed for...
Right, yeah, I saw that.
Are going to be nothing with Viltrumites or Omni-Man. It's just going to be like other threats. And then for the final season, it's going to be, oh, look... the Viltrumites back. I don't know if that's true, but that's just the feeling I get. Because if he just came back with all the others, like, what are they gonna do?
Right, yeah, they'll get wiped.
Yeah. So it's got to be something to just fill the time. I hope the Battle Beast, I think his name, the like lion dude with the hammer.
Yeah, he was cool.
I like him. I want him to come back.
He for sure will. He'll
Yeah.
throw
He's
down
got
some more.
Maybe he'll make a face turn. Who knows?
That would be interesting.
That'd be sweet. Well, because he's more of just like he just likes to fight. He'd love to fight Omni-Man.
Yeah.
He'd be like, this is great. So.
Yeah, he'll probably get his head smashed in about 5 seconds.
Nah, not Battle Beast. Battle Beast is cool. Got a hammer.
Right.
Hey, if that Wonder War woman, stood up for a little bit, Battle Beast was totally stronger than her.
Did she stand up for a little bit? I think she was just like, and then he was like, I'm going to turn your head this way.
She got a few hits in. Who did do the best against him in the fight? Red Rush?
Probably Red Rush.
Because he's just so fast, but if you get caught once, you're done. That's the thing.
And he got caught.
Yeah. The Martian guy. You know who did the worst? The green lady, who was probably like the most powerful in that situation, and she didn't do anything.
She got the hand through the face.
Pissed me off so bad. I was like, literally, your ability is to not be hurt. And that's...
Hey, man, what are you going to do?
I mean, I don't know what she could have done actually, unless she literally just like held him and just went invisible and made him invisible forever. I don't know what else she could have done really. I don't think pushing him into the sun would have killed him. Probably, he's pretty strong.
Probably not.
It's definitely a thing where it's the extent of his power is a little bit unclear to me. Like, he's obviously very strong, but like he shakes off like missiles like absolutely nothing. But the Guardians of the Globe did like almost win,
Yeah, kinda.
If
he was beat up.
Yeah, but if they would have had like 2 more people, he might have not recovered. So he's definitely a threat that he's not totally unstoppable. He definitely can be beaten.
Right, and that giant monster, like near the end of the season,
we didn't get to see the fight, but they said that it had him on the ropes.
And then then his son like. Got a few good hits, I guess.
Got a few good hits, but not really.
Man, that final fight was pretty crazy. Just, I don't know if I've ever seen anything so like ridiculously gory.
Yeah.
Like animated, like before. When he holds him in front of the train, and he just goes through the train and kills like however many people.
Yeah, and he's like, look.
That was, like, unreal.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Because, like, I mean, I've seen plenty of animated things that are, like, nasty and gory, but that was, like, pretty intense.
That was pretty bad.
You're shaking it off.
I feel
like, yeah, it's whatever.
I feel like I've seen worse.
Where?
In Japan.
What, though? I'm trying to think. Like Hellsing can get kind of bad, but like real.
Well, no,
really.
it's not. But it's not from It's just like random videos. People are like, oh, look at this animation I did, and then you're just like, oh, why did you spend so much time doing that?
Oh.
You're like, okay. Yeah. So I guess my feeling taking away from it was that's obviously my biggest pull in the show right now, and I hope it doesn't take like a back seat.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, because like they do that like montage at the end where it like shows all the like other things, like those weird like
it's like we bide our
parasite
time,
creatures,
and I was like, is this seasons 2, 3, 4, and 5? I was like, that's not very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Unless the idea is turning everybody against the Viltrumites, and there's conflicts, but by the end of it, they fight against the empire that is them because they control so much. That would make sense. I'd be down for that.
I don't know. We'll see though.
I don't know either.
But overall, did you enjoy Invincible?
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I don't like Amber. Kind of sucks. His girlfriend.
Yeah, she was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I feel like I got what they were trying to do with her character, but it just didn't work. William's cool, I guess. His mom's whatever. I like Adam Eve.
Yeah, she's cool.
Monster Girl's kind of neat. Just the idea
her
of the
power
powers.
Is terrible. What a terrible thing.
What do you mean?
So she turns into the monster.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But when she's in the monster, when she turns back, she'll like be younger.
Yeah.
But it's like not a good trade-off.
What do you
it's
mean?
Like that one, because I remember that one time, like the time difference is like not a good trade-off. Because I remember like one time she was the monster for maybe like 10 minutes, and she was like, now I'm 2 weeks younger.
Oh. No, that's not what I got from that. It's because she did the training and then she also fought Rex. So that was 2 times that she transformed. So it's 2 weeks. Remember? So I think that's the scene you're talking about.
She transforms one time and that's 1 week.
Yeah, but she can be that form for like weeks. I assume.
I don't know. Either way,
because she just said each time I use my powers, I get a week younger. So I assume it's transform. That's a week.
That sucks though. She can like never really age unless she just doesn't use her power ever.
Which is great. That's fine. I don't see a problem with that. But
if
also,
she uses it too much, then she just becomes baby.
Right. That seems weird because being part of this global task force that assesses every threat.
Yeah.
Seems like a bad for that team specifically.
I kind of hope that happens now that she just uses the power so much she becomes like a little baby.
Yeah. But what happens?
And then she just uses it again and she just becomes atoms.
Right. Like what happens if she uses it after that too?
And she just becomes a sperm cell.
And after that, she does it as a sperm
cell. It goes back into the balls.
And in the balls, she does it.
Poor dude.
I don't know. I don't think it goes back that far, but it's an interesting, thing.
I wouldn't want.
We have Duplicate, who doesn't seem that strong to me. Don't know how she made it on the final team, but is it that strong? She can only turn to so far we've only seen her turn to 8 people.
I think she just kind of.
If she got 1,000, I'd be like, okay, that's interesting.
Maybe she could do 1,000. I don't know.
Maybe she just hasn't, I guess. Rex also seems not very strong.
Yeah, I don't really. He's kind of man, he's kind of annoying.
Really, it's Adam Eve who seems like
she's OP.
She's got just psychic everything.
She can
Wanda Maximoff powers.
She's I can turn atoms into
anything
that I want.
That is Scarlet Witch's power, isn't it? So yeah, she's just Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah, so that's.
So I don't know. I mean, she's basically the whole team.
All I'm saying is Battle Beast. Okay, that's all I got. Battle Beast. Ooh.
Battle Beast, favorite character.
When he slams them and then he just lets the blood just shower on his face.
Yes.
I was like, Battle Beast. Fight. Cool. Anyway, that continues, and I guess we'll just go straight into my week then.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now.
Sweet. I watched a movie from 2019 called Black Christmas. Don't ask why.
Why?
I said don't ask that.
I'm asking.
Because I can't say on air.
Okay.
Anyway. It was bad. It wasn't very good because it's the original one that was, the Christmas Story dude. And that one's great. And there's a 2009 remake, which I haven't seen, but I've been told is bad. And then there's this one, which shouldn't even be called Black Christmas because it's not at all the same movie. Because Black Christmas is a bunch of sorority girls get murdered by a dude. Right? That's the movie. And this is a bunch of sorority girls get murdered by a bunch of fraternity guys, which is kind of similar, but not really. Because in this, it's not a psychopath, it's like a cult. And they all worship this old statue of the founder of the college, and they get possessed, and they have to kill. And the ladies fight back. I think it just would have stood better if it was its own movie, and I didn't come in with these ideas of what the movie was going to be, and then it just says, this is basically none of that, you know?
Okay.
Because in the original Black Christmas, there's like a mystery, like, who's the murderer? In this one, it's like, look, here's all of the murderers standing in a room. And it's just like, all right. It's got its own charms, but overall, just not... If you watch it as its own thing, it'd be a much more rewarding experience. But basically, just probably avoid it, I'd say.
No Black Christmas.
I'd also watched, because it was leaving Shudder on Friday, so I had to. I watched The Devils from 1971, I believe. And it was also a book from Aldous Huxley, which I haven't read yet, The Devils of Loudun. But I've been meaning to. But I saw the movie first. Anyway, The Devils is about this guy, Grandier. Super cool dude, sorta. He's a priest, but he's not that great of a dude. He's a little lustful. You know, he sleeps around a little bit, which you're not supposed to do.
Okay.
Eventually, he finds a woman that he's so in love with that he's like, you know what, let's get married. Screw it, whatever. Who cares? And that makes this one nun super mad because she was in love with him. And so she decides to basically accuse him of witchcraft, practicing black magic. And there's some people in power who are like, you know, I never really liked this Grandier guy. Why don't we just kind of go with this and try to, you know, get the church kind of away from us or whatever. And so they do that. It's a whole big thing of him being accused of possessing this whole group of nuns. The nuns get naked and they dance around, and there's gross stuff happening everywhere.
Cool.
And they're like, look, see, he's evil, blah, 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 blah. But obviously there's no real evidence, and it's just a witch hunt. And the people end up, you know, deciding, we need the justice, so we need to burn him at the stake. And so they do, and then the movie ends. And this movie, one of the reasons why it interested me was because I had known of its legacy, kind of, as it's supposed to be a very, very controversial film at the time it was released, which apparently was kind of Ken Russell, I believe, his like forte, I think, was making kind of challenging films. But by today's standards, there's nothing really that crazy in here. There's naked women dancing around and sticking their tongues out, and
nice.
There's like masturbation and stuff like that, and there's like dead bodies from the plague and everything, but nothing that I was like, but for 1971, I guess, sure. And I guess because it was very critical of like the church, and it was like, look, the Pope might not be a good person. Well, not the Pope, but the people in power. Anyway, the whole movie was basically just about people in power leveraging faith to, well, either attain power or keep their power. You know, it was just using faith as a tool for your own means, you know. And I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked the performances a lot. The sets were incredible. It was a lot of stark white buildings and stuff like that. Very, very neat. A lot of just interesting looking actors. Okay. I was like, that person just has like a funny face that I just like looking at, you know?
Huh.
The nun has like a hunchback and is like a psychopath. It's an odd performance, but I dug it. And the final shot of this film was also just like very, very cool. And the whole film also seems to revolve around the idea of pride as well, because there's just a lot of pride symbology going on, you know? And I'd recommend it. Don't know where you can watch it anymore, because it's gone. And it's a notoriously hard to watch film. But if you ever get the chance, go ahead and check out The Devils.
The Devils.
Yeah. Critically, at the time, not very well received, but people have kind of come around on it now. I also played a video game.
Okay.
Which I don't talk about too often, but I thought I should shout this one out because it actually came out 2019. But recently, as in March, it came out with an update where it was entirely voiced. It used to have just a few voice actors, but now the whole game is completely voiced. So that was like a big change. And it's called Disco Elysium. And what this game is about is you play a police officer and kind of a not a fictional as in like there's magic everywhere, but it's just not Earth. It's just a new society, you know. Even though there are some magic elements, but I won't get into that. You're in a place called Revachol. It's like the country or whatever. Specifically, your city in Martinez, I think. I don't know. There's a lot of information in this game.
Okay.
It's a like a, what do you call it? Not third person, but the bird's eye kind of view. Isometric. So you're kind of like up here looking down at the ground.
Okay.
You're a detective and you wake up in a hotel room. The place is trashed. You're like naked and you're like, I don't know who I am. And so the whole game is find out who you are and also solve the murder case that you were sent here to do before you got drunk and lost your memory.
Okay.
So basically you're playing this scumbag before this thing and you can choose where you want to go. Do you want to stay a scumbag and take meth and punch children? Or do you want to apologize and try to make things right?
Nah.
Whatever. You can go any way you want with it. I think I ended up I went sober, cold turkey, which affected some of my stats. They're like, oh, well, you're really tired because you need drugs. But I ended up I wanted to liquidate the ruling class, but I was also like hustler, always on the grind, and wanted to be the top 1%. So basically, I just had my bases covered. So it's just an interesting dynamic going around this town. Your stats are things like, instead of strength or whatever, it's like logic. You know, like how well you can use logic. Encyclopedia, how much you just know about everyday things, you know.
Oh, okay.
Reflexes, just how fast you can react to stuff. So it's not like you have a magic stat or anything like that. I played it as kind of like a Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks kind of character. So my feelings were kind of the heighted. I had a high empathy. You know, I could really feel what people are feeling and see if they were lying and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's just a great game. You get a little partner who's like a real cop, who's like normal. And it's just a very fun foil to be like when you see a little kid and he's like, he says something to make him angry. So he just starts shouting about how you're going to rape him and running around the town going, this cop's raping me. And it's like, he's got his dick out and he's chasing me. And you're just standing there like, what the fuck do I do? And I punched him in the face and it worked out for me. Nobody saw.
Exactly.
And it's just full of encounters like that. And there's no real combat ever, you know? It's just all talking and being a detective. I just thought it was a really refreshing game.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and I won't get into it further because obviously a mystery game, you know, there's a case to be solved. But I thought it ended pretty well. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I mean, I really just blew through it. It was the game I played, and I didn't play any other games. I was just like, if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to do this, I'm just going to beat it. And I'd highly recommend it.
Interesting.
I watched one more movie. It was called Mortal Kombat.
Never heard of it.
Brand spanking new, basically. It's on HBO Max, guys. And have you seen any discourse around it or anything?
I haven't seen any discourse. I've just seen what people think about it.
It seems mostly mixed.
Yeah.
You know, it seems mostly mixed. And I'd have to agree. The movie was fine. I'm speaking as a person who is barely on the surface of Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
I played a few, but I've never really gotten into them.
Yeah, me too.
I had it on my Game Boy, I think, as well. It was great.
Nice.
Game. Anyway, my biggest issues with this film is that the main character is... I don't like him. I don't see why he needed to be in it. I get it. It's the audience thing for people who don't know Mortal Kombat to be the surrogate. And I was like, there's other ways you could have written it to make it the character. Cole Young, I think is his name. It's like he didn't need to be there. Yeah, Cole. I don't dig it. Anyway, you got Jax, you got Sonya, you got Sub-Zero and Scorpion, obviously. Kano is the big one that everybody seems to really like, and he was pretty good. He was a little quippy, but it worked. Cabal is there, Goro, and then there's this lady who I don't know, she must be real because why would they make up another character? But she's like this weird vampire lady who doesn't even speak. She's just got like big bat wings. No idea. I've never seen that woman in my life.
Okay.
So she's probably from some weird... It just seems like a weird pull because there's a lot of characters that people like in Mortal Kombat to be one that, I don't know, maybe she's popular. Who knows?
I don't know.
I have no idea either. And then the other biggest complaint for me is that the whole movie kind of feels like it's a setup for the second movie. Because it even ends on like we need to find the rest of the warriors. It's like, where do we go? Hollywood. And they're going to find Johnny Cage, who's like a big fan favorite of the franchise. And it like pans to a poster of him. And it's just like, okay. it just all felt like a bunch of waiting for the actual tournament to happen. Because the Mortal Kombat tournament doesn't happen in this one. It's like leading up to it. So it just felt like a lot of setup. That's all I'd have to say about it. I'd also say that a lot of the choreography and stuff, the fight choreography, felt very front and back loaded. The middle of the movie was kind of boring, the fights. But the front and the end was good stuff. But the cool stuff was already in the trailers.
Cool. So I've seen the movie.
Like the blood ice part, to me, that was like the coolest part of the movie.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It's the Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight. Of course it is. They probably shouldn't have shown all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
The movie, I guess.
Mortal Kombat. If you like... See, I don't even know if I can say that. If you like Mortal Kombat, check it out. Because maybe knowing more makes you hate it more.
Yeah.
You know? I'm so surface level that I was like, yeah, it works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess somebody'd have to tell me.
I don't know either. Huh.
But we've got Mortal Kombat in the news.
Oh, do we?
We do. News time, everybody. Welcome. Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero reveals he signed on for 4 more movies. Joe Taslim's role as Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat movie shocked his family, friends, and fans alike. Wow. So,
wow. 4 more movies? Hey, that's 4 chances at maybe a good video game movie, which still hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's like a really solid, everyone agrees that's yet to occur. But I would say that I think this franchise could have potential in making a good one. Usually I feel like you'd want to start with the first one, but that's okay.
We can make it better.
At the beginning of the second movie, just have Cole Young get shot in the face by Johnny Cage with a shotgun.
Okay.
And then he goes, "Ha, kick ass." And then he like gets on a skateboard and then he kills Shang Tsung.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know. And then The Miz shows up and he's like, "I wish I was Johnny Cage and not I don't know, James Marsden or somebody. Ryan Reynolds?
Rye.
Maybe. But anyway, 4 more movies. Buckle up, kids.
4 more movies. Okay.
4 movies. Speaking of 4 more movies, kind of. We talked about already, but Invincible renewed for seasons 2 and 3 at Amazon. Cool.
Rock on.
We talked about it. Who knows? We'll see. Do you, assuming that they do put away Omni-Man for a while, do you think your attention's going to be held, or would that disappoint you?
I'd be sad if Omni-Man's not like the main focus of season 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'll still watch.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'll be as excited unless they like introduce something else that is like really cool.
Really cool, like Battle Beast.
Right.
Yes. We had a story a while ago, similar with Prime Video, I think, but Apple must face lawsuit for telling consumers they can buy movies, TV shows. So I'm pretty sure the same exact thing happened to Amazon, where, you know, their buy button just says buy. Like I bought Mr. Robot Season 4, right? But if they just take it off their service, there's no way for me to get it. I can't even download it. You know, It's just totally unavailable for me. And Apple contends that no reasonable consumer would believe that purchased content would remain on the iTunes platform indefinitely, which seems super stupid because the button says buy. Mm-hmm. What does buy mean? It means you own it, you know? So that's a really stupid. They apparently had a bunch of, you know, arguments to try to get out of it, but nothing really seems to be sticking for them. But again, seems like it could all be solved by just adding a few more words like buy extended license or something like that. Uh-huh. You know, instead of just buy. Obviously, it's a bit more, but come on. Because that's the thing that's always bugged me about things going super digital is possession becoming a muddy affair. Because even my digital games, we just had the story of the PlayStation Store closing down its PS3 and PS Vita, which they overturned now. But that would have meant that if you hadn't had those games downloaded, let's say you bought every single game on the PlayStation 3 store, but didn't even have one downloaded, you would have nothing for the tens of thousands probably dollars that you spent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a really weird area. And I get it because it is obviously in the case of this, there's like different publishers and everything. And also it costs money to keep things up to be downloaded. It's just something that I think we're going to have to figure out at some point moving on to the future as things become more and more digital. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't know. That's an interesting problem that we're faced with.
It's new. It's totally new.
Yeah.
Even 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been something that we could talk
it
about.
wouldn't have been a problem. I don't know. We'll see what happens with great interest.
We will be watching. Oh, wow. Okay. Disney must pay.
Disney must pay.
Authors form task force to fight for missing payments. A coalition of author groups call for Disney to pay outstanding royalties owed to writers of novels and comics, including Star Wars, Alien, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer series it now owns. So basically, when Disney bought everything, they also stopped paying royalties to the people who were being paid royalties before, I guess because of some kind of change of ownership. I don't know how it works, but I still think these people should get paid.
Well, yeah.
They shouldn't stop getting paid just because it changed hands. You know, that I don't think that's how royalty should work. So this is a whole big thing that all these people are coming to get. It's not like Disney doesn't have the money.
Right, yeah. What the heck?
I read something, I want to say it was about Nintendo. And basically a representative from Nintendo said, we could lose millions of dollars every year for 30 years and still be perfectly fine. And I was like, wow, that's Nintendo.
Nice.
Imagine the kind of hemorrhaging of money these bigger
what the heck?
corporations could do. Anyway, they just continue to fail upwards, I guess, at a certain point. You just can't fail anymore. I hope this gets through with them. I mean, honestly, it seems like an easy way to gain favor if you were Disney.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, we're the good guys. We paid the royalties. But I don't know if enough people know about it for them to see it that way.
Huh.
But who knows? People deserve to get paid for the work that they do.
For sure.
That's all I got to say. Wish someone would pay me for my work on the Stagler.
What the heck?
This is a very interesting story.
I heard about this.
Citizen Kane. You just watched it. You just watched Citizen Kane for the first time ever.
Yeah, like probably a couple months now.
Oh, it wasn't a couple months.
Yeah,
well,
it had to be.
Maybe. I forget how long our episodes are between each other. Anyway, it was when you watched it at a 100% Rotten Tomatoes certified fresh rating.
Man, that just prestigious.
I mean, it's the highest honor.
Mm-hmm.
But now it no longer is because a very old review resurfaced and it bumped it down to I don't know, not 100%.
Probably 99.9%
now. So Paddington 2 is now the superior movie to Citizen Kane.
Well, I thought everyone knew that already.
Well, right. But I mean, now it's, you can't even argue it because Rotten Tomatoes says so.
That's true. Interesting. It also, did Paddington 2 win any Oscars?
It probably won all of them. It maybe won production or something. Or like effects.
Let me figure this out.
Because Paddington was pretty cute.
Because it's funny because Mank, it was a big thing because Mank won 2 Oscars and Citizen Kane has only won 1 Oscar.
So everyone twice as much.
So it's won double the amount of Oscars as Citizen Kane has. So
let's see if Paddington 2 is more than Citizen Kane.
Even better than Citizen Kane and Mank.
Who knows?
It wasn't even nominated for any Oscars. So
Damn.
It's terrible.
What a shame.
Got a couple BAFTA nominees, but that's it.
BAFTAs are pretty cool though. Well, here's the thing. I just kind of wanted to bring this up. I'm sure we've mentioned it at least in passing before, but Rotten Tomatoes is not a bad review system. People just have made it a bad review system. Because seeing the information of, 100% of people liked it positively, is an interesting piece of data, but people take it as like, it's 80%, this movie must suck. People just misconstrued the information that makes me hate Rotten Tomatoes now. And I hate, biggest pet peeve is seeing it on movie covers.
Yeah, it's like,
this
movie was certified fresh.
That stupid tomato.
Yep.
It makes me mad every single time. I will search out a version that does not have it on it because I hate it. Certified fresh. Fuck off.
Certified fresh, man.
Fuck off. Citizen Kane, still certified fresh. It's not 100% fresh.
Eventually, it might be able to be certified stinky.
Maybe. We just gotta keep reviewing
Rotten.
this game poorly. Bo Burnham, Inside, comedy special, will bow on Netflix. So Bo Burnham, he was doing 8th grade, and then he did Promising Young Woman. He was acting in that. And now he's got a new special. He said, "Hi, I made a new special." He tweeted that on Wednesday. "It was filmed by me alone, without a crew or an audience, over the course of the past year. It is almost finished. I hope you like it."
Interesting. No, I'm not a big fan of just like stand-up comedy in general. So.
Well, he's a musical stand-up comedy man.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference to me.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It's weird because I feel like almost when you make it music, it becomes more like rewatchable because it's like a song as well. So if you just like the song, you can listen to it.
Okay.
But I don't know if stand-up is something that you can listen to over and over, like, very often. Maybe you can if it's some joke that like just really gets to you. But generally, if a comedian has a special or something that people find funny, I see like screen caps of it, and I get tired of the joke like by the third time I see it, and it gets really grating. John Mulaney, really, really grating. So you have no opinion at all about your stance is I hate stand-up comedy.
I've just never been a fan of it. People always like. Tell
Well,
me all
usually
the time,
funny
like,
people like stand-up.
They're like, I think I'm a funny person.
I know, funny looking.
Yeah. I don't know. They're like, watch the Dave Chappelle thing.
Well,
and
I
I'm
think
like, I'm not. No.
You probably just haven't found a comedian that you really like, because obviously a lot of the mainstream comedians might not gel with you because I feel like you don't share too many You're not, you're a little offbeat when it comes to.
I'm different.
You're just built different.
I'm just built different.
But yeah, I think you maybe just haven't given it a chance to find someone that you has a certain comedy that you really like.
Maybe.
How many stand-up specials have you watched? Right, exactly.
Not that many.
Yeah, like 2.
Only the ones I'm forced to watch.
Who's forcing you?
People.
I hate people.
Yeah.
You know what I don't hate, I think? Castlevania.
Have you seen that?
I saw the first season.
But there's more than one.
There's 3, I guess, maybe? But there's going to be 4. It's going to end with season 4.
Nice.
As Netflix eyes new series in the same universe.
Oh, interesting.
So it's 10 episodes, 4th season, premiere May 13th. That's very soon.
That is very soon.
There's the key art. That looks sweet. I honestly have no idea what's really going on in this poster, so I should get back into it. But right. It was cool enough when I watched it. I liked it. It rained blood. That's always neat.
Everyone loves it when it rains blood.
Especially Battle Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this would be like the first good like video game TV show, right? Maybe, because people seem to really like it, and I like the first season.
Video game TV. Is there any other like TV show?
There's the Mario Brothers TV show.
I've never seen that.
Okay, it's great.
Okay.
There was a Beautiful Joe anime, I think.
I don't know.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That counts. I don't know. But
what,
anyway.
What was first for Pokemon? I don't even know.
The card game, I guess.
I don't know.
Pocket Monsters.
Hmm.
It's got to be, right? No.
I don't know.
The game was definitely before the show, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Castlevania ended with season 4, but that might not be the end of the world, which is neat. Last piece of news here. Fantastic news. Oscar viewership rises to 10.4 million in final numbers. Remains least watched and lowest rated Academy Awards ever.
What are you gonna do?
How do you feel about?
I feel like this was as expected.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of the movies, like no one has really seen. There's no like big, like movie like Joker, to like get young people excited. You know what I mean? Like
invigorate the youth.
I thought there were some good movies in the Oscars this year, but just like compared to like, especially if you look at like last year, where it's literally Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, Ford versus Ferrari, Little Women.
Yeah.
Those are all like
Killers.
pretty big movies that were all really good that a lot of people liked a lot. But this year, it was just kind of like, because, I mean, you couldn't go to see movies anywhere.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like the way things fell this year. So I'm hoping that next year will probably be better. It will be because Dune's going to come out. But anyway.
That's true, and that will win every award.
It's going to be the first movie ever to win all 23 Oscars. It's going to win the international short film animated, short documentary,
Original screenplay.
original and adapted screenplay. And it's going to do all of it.
That's great.
And it's going to win the Staggy.
Well, we don't know about that yet. That's a little far. But anyway, we can get right into our spotlight now then, which is talking about the Oscars show itself. Imagine that.
Indeed.
And the Staggies, which is happening right now. We should have got sparklers or something. Or we should have got a host. We should have got Jimmy Kimmel. Marilyn will be our host.
Hey!
Marilyn, what do you have to say about our first set of awards here?
Welcome to the Staggies.
Okay.
In the first category, we're gonna do the best actor in the supporting role.
Okay. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thanks, Marilyn. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The person that won at the Oscars for the best actor in the supporting role was none other than Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah. Great win.
It's first win, but probably his first of many. I'll be real.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna go on a tear here.
Yeah. He's got a career ahead of him for sure.
But in classic Staggies fashion,
of course,
we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
You got to.
We loved Daniel Kaluuya. Great performance.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna give it to Paul Raci from Sound of Metal.
What a terrific choice.
We'd
like to thank the Stag Academy for this decision.
Yeah.
In Sound of Metal, he's the just a very supporting role. Like the way that he worked against Riz Ahmed's character, was terrific. And it's the scene that really gets to you is that the scene where Ruben, Riz Ahmed's character, comes to him and is like, look, terrific. He comes and he's like, oh, look, I need some money. I got this implant thing, whatever. And Paul Raci's character, whose name I forget, was like, hey, look, I understand your position, but like this community isn't really made for that. There's a lot of people who would be like very angry with you for what you've done. And it was the decision, which was also like an editing decision, which I really liked, where they stayed on Paul's character for like most of that scene, just to see his emotions, the mix of like disappointment and like futility of being like his hands are kind of tied at this point. I thought he was fantastic. If they played any clips at the Oscars and he would have won,
unreal. Or
if we were playing clips, which we really should look into eventually.
Yeah.
That would be the scene I would choose right there. Is that little confrontation? You might say
that's the easy choice there.
And we can talk about the Oscar show as well, just because we mentioned it. Like 0 clips.
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh, producer. What are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like he was trying to do something new and kind of interesting, just because this year was so strange.
It was a different setting. It was only the winners or not the winners, but the nominees in the actual venue.
Yeah, like the new place that they usually don't do it. And I thought the opening was kind of cool.
Her walking
with
in.
all like the titles and stuff. That was
film
cool.
bars the whole time.
But then, that was an interesting choice.
I guess it just made it look a little less TV-y.
And then one thing that was kind of weird is like, I feel like for some people that like aren't as like locked down into this stuff as like me and you are, would just be like really confused with, because even I at points was like really confused when they were presenting awards. I like, you wouldn't even know until they would just be like the nominees.
Right,
like, what?
exactly. You're like, oh, I didn't realize.
Or they would just be like the winner, because the way they went about it was just like really strange. They just kind of like talked.
Yeah.
And then they like wouldn't play.
And a lot
clips.
of them were presented not even on the stage. Some of them were just standing
they would just
by
like
the tables.
stand somewhere. So all that was really strange. But I didn't think it was like terrible overall. I thought like some of it worked and some of it was just kind of like eh. But I definitely prefer like the normal way.
Yeah, I really dearly missed the clips.
Yeah, the clips was like what we had like a few clips for some of the categories.
We had like animated one got clips.
Yeah.
Not even actor got clips.
But the actors need clips.
Yeah, it's show the thing that's like, oh yeah,
show them acting. This is what they're nominated for.
Yeah, and especially because some of they did it for international. I think they had clips. But if there's any things that I had a blind eye on, I'd like to see, what it got nominated for. I'd like an example. I appreciate them not doing the songs.
Yes,
that's
songs,
great.
They cut those out.
They
that
did
was
it
great.
in the pre-show.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's a great idea. It's super.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I remember I really liked last year's Oscars. I remember specifically for like the screenplay categories, they would have like the screenplay on the screen, and then they would show a scene with like the actual screenplay like scrolling through, so you could see like the transfer from the page to the screen. I thought that was really cool, and they did a lot of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, this year they just did the gold foil thing.
Yeah, which that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
but like
meh.
Yeah, that's as far as the show goes, I guess. And then,
we can also talk about the order of the awards this year.
Yes, right. Very strangely,
how would you end an awards show with all of these categories? What prize would you end with?
The best picture.
Oh, okay. I would have done
right?
best short film.
Oh, okay.
But best picture, I guess that makes sense. No, this year they decided to end it on best actor, and we'll get to that when we get to the best actor category, I suppose.
Okay, well, we can just do that next.
Sure.
So for best actor, if you didn't watch, they did that last, and everyone just kind of assumed that Chadwick Boseman was going to win. And it would have been a cool thing, to switch it up just this one year and then end the show on this like emotional high note.
Yeah.
And then Joaquin Phoenix gets on the stage and, he's being weird like normal.
He's like, I hate everything about all of this. Here are the winners.
And then he's like, and the winner is Anthony Hopkins, who was not at the Academy Awards and was not at like any of their like stations they had.
Yeah,
like,
he
outside.
says, Anthony Hopkins, I am accepting this award on Anthony Hopkins' behalf.
And then the show literally just ended.
It's
and everyone was just like
looking around, just like, okay,
what?
Yeah.
So that
there's already the shock from everyone assuming Chadwick Boseman was gonna win,
right?
Just doubled with go home.
Yeah, like it's over. That was really strange. I can only assume that like they just didn't know that he was not gonna win.
It's gotta be,
which
right?
just seems like. I mean, it was almost. I would say. It was like 95% chance that he was going to win.
Well, apparently somehow they were also like 25 minutes over time as to what was expected. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
honestly,
because
they
didn't
know.
like do anything other than like give out the awards.
They cut out the song. I don't know.
So I don't know. But
I heard that originally Olivia Colman was actually supposed to accept the award on Anthony Hopkins' behalf, and she was supposed to go up and say a few words in his stead. But he released a video later of his acceptance speech at his home. They wouldn't even let him do it over Zoom, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I don't. It was just really weird.
Very strange.
It was just kind of like a sucky end to like a mediocre night in general. Anyway,
Questlove tried his best.
It's not what you
want.
Love. So yeah, that was weird. It's not what you want. But they'll. Next year, just make best picture last, and this kind of weird crap won't happen.
Yeah.
Like if Anthony Hopkins won like 3 awards earlier, it still would have been like, oh, Chadwick Boseman didn't win, but at least still then the show would get to end on Nomadland winning. And
It
they
just
would be
seems
like,
obvious
yay.
that no matter what situation, have Best Picture be last. I don't care.
Yeah, I get what they were going for, but it was a big gamble,
And
and
obviously
it did not pay off.
even a little.
But so Anthony Hopkins won the Oscar, but the Staggy, maybe this is the Staggy. It's
Marilyn?
just Marilyn Monroe is the Staggy. So like we'll make little Marilyn trophies,
Okay.
and that's the Staggy.
I don't know if legally we're allowed to do that with her likeness, but fuck it.
Yeah, right. Who cares? The Staggy is gonna go to Chadwick Boseman.
We'll put antlers on Marilyn,
There we go.
and then she'll be the Staggy.
The Staggy
Yeah. Chadwick Boseman wins the Staggy
for Best Actor.
for Best Actor. Thank you very much.
I mean, obvious.
His last performance and his greatest performance.
Yeah. So
So there you go.
rewarding
There you
him.
have it.
Let's move on to actress in a leading role.
Just getting the acting ones out of here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be rolling through them here.
Yeah.
So the Oscars went the way of Frances McDormand, which was like the whole category was just basically kind of like up in the air. So
Yeah.
if anyone won, it would have been surprising.
She was actually pretty low on my list though.
But yeah, that was the one where I was like, no, it's either gonna be like one of these 3 people.
Yeah.
And then like she won, and I was like, okay, she won. That was her 3rd Oscar for leading role
Yeah.
actress.
Damn.
Which is pretty prestigious.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was funny because right before that they did Best Picture, Best Actress, then Best Actor.
Yes.
So Nomadland wins Best Picture, and Chloe Zhao gives a speech, and then she hands the mic to Frances McDormand, who just proceeded to howl like a wolf.
I understood that later.
Oh, okay.
It was a
Please
reference to
explain.
their sound designer who had died. His name was Mark Wolf, I think. Mark Wolf something.
Oh, okay.
So it was an inside kind of thing.
Interesting.
But I had heard about that. I just didn't happen to recall that his name was Wolf. So
Okay.
it just came off a little odd.
Yeah, so in the moment it was like, what is
Yes.
happening? Anyway, she goes and sits down, and then the next award gets presented for Best Actress, and she wins.
Mhm.
And she already just made like a speech, so she literally just like walks up, and I don't even remember what she said. She says like one sentence.
She makes a Hamlet quote about like your word being your sword, or your words being your sword, and she loves words and her work. Thank you.
And then she just leaves.
Yeah, a very very short speech.
And
And then it ran into Anthony Hopkins not being there. Joaquin Phoenix being like, fuck this. Then Anthony Hopkins, the end.
Yeah, it just wasn't what you want, but that was funny.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The last 10 minutes were just like, what is happening?
yeah, it was just really weird. So congratulations to Frances McDormand for her third Oscar.
Yeah.
But the Staggies aren't going to roll that way.
No way, Francis.
No, we're not going to do that. The Staggy is going to go to none other than Vanessa Kirby for performance in Pieces of a Woman. She received basically no love at all in any of the awards. So you know what?
Obviously, nobody's got to see the clip of her at the court being like, nothing's going to be solved here.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That would have been a good clip to show.
It would have
But
that
they
would have been a
didn't.
good clip. I Tanya.
Yeah. So you know what? We're gonna reward her here. Vanessa Kirby wins the first ever actress Staggy. That's incredible.
That is fantastic.
Incredible.
I'm sure she is stoked beyond belief.
Yeah. She'll be posting on Instagram later today.
We'll
for sure.
send her a Staggy in the mail.
Mm-hmm. Everyone will be receiving Staggies.
Yeah, they should all get them unless they're intercepted as bomb threats, which happens sometimes. But we promise it's just a trophy.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, but she was great. She was
fantastic performance. And she's young, so she's got a lot in her
Plenty of
future
time.
too. Now we go on to actress in a supporting role. Yo Jung-yoon won for Minari at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. Expected. She's been winning all the other awards.
Yep.
She gave a little great speech.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting Brad Pitt and stuff. That was funny.
But she did not sniff him.
She did not. She did not.
She is not a dog.
And then the Staggies, we acknowledge this. And the Staggies going to go to Yo Jung-yeon also for a performance in Minari.
Nice.
I mean, just amazing.
Yeah.
Really great. She deserves it. So,
Fantastic.
Glenn Close, try again.
Glenn Close, you and debut. That's the
She
best.
can do debut.
She can do debut. That was part of the show. Maybe that's why they went 25 minutes over. Maybe we were all
debut
watching her dance to debut for 25 minutes. We just didn't realize.
could have been.
Glenn Close and her powers.
Okay, let's move on to the animated feature film. Obviously, Soul won the Oscar, which is expected. Every Pixar movie always wins.
They have a stranglehold.
So, even no matter what, the Pixar movie will win.
The Boss Baby.
But the Staggies, we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
Yeah,
switch it up a little bit. And it will come probably as a surprise to many people. The Staggy is going to a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon. Congratulations to Shaun the Sheep.
That movie is fantastic. There's a part where the bull goes in a china shop. Chef's
classic.
kiss.
That was the clip they showed, I think.
Yeah, right, because they showed clips for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Shaun the Sheep, Farmageddon. It's on Netflix. It's great.
Yeah,
Do not
guys,
let people dissuade you from watching this great movie. It just won the Staggy, so you have to see it.
Right, yeah. The Staggy is kind of like you're forced to watch.
Exactly. Congratulations to the Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon.
Fantastic. I would like to extend an apology to Wolfwalkers.
Right. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Now we go on to cinematography.
My stylist?
My stylist. I'm Cinnamon. Your stylist. When are we doing the Starving Games episode?
We need to have a spoof movie episode where we do like a bunch of movies like that.
We'll have to do that soon.
Yeah. We'll have to do that at some point. Anyway.
That'll be good.
That'll be good.
Anyway, at the Oscars, Mank won, surprisingly.
Not to me.
You guessed it. I really thought that No Man Land was going to win.
So did I.
But I'm glad that Mank won.
Yes, very glad.
Because it very much deserves it. Great win. And the Staggy is also going to go to Mank. Just
full support of Mank for the Staggy.
We're pro Mank podcast.
Mm-hmm. We've always been.
Mank is great, and the cinematography is one of the many great parts.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're combining the costume design and makeup and hairstyling categories into one. We call it the CMH.
Wow.
The CMH award.
Or
wait, the CHM, so we call it the CUM award.
I was going to say the Chim. But I guess you could call it that other
Or the
thing.
CUM.
The CUM.
The CUM award.
The CUM.
The Staggy for the CUM is going to go to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which also won both.
Sometimes the Oscars get it right. What can you
sometimes
say?
the Oscars, they know what they're doing.
Sometimes they got it.
Pinocchio, close second.
Pinocchio, the movie that doesn't exist, that they're just trying to fool everybody into thinking it did.
Right.
Because nobody's seen Pinocchio.
Right, I didn't even know it was a thing.
It's not real. They made the clips for the visual effects, and that's it. They just told people there was a movie.
So, I don't know. So, let's move on to Best Director. The Oscar went to Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. Mm-hmm. She's been dominating. Second woman ever to win an Oscar behind Catherine Bigelow, yours truly.
Katie B.
And then, we just said earlier, the Oscars, sometimes they get it right. So, the Staggy. We'll have Marilyn present this one, actually.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Ooh, yeah. Big money.
Wow, thank you, Marilyn. That was a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday, which is now fair use. So I'm not afraid of singing it.
Yeah. So, Chloe Zhao wins the Staggy for directing.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, when directing non-actors alongside a seasoned actor who's won Oscars like Frances McDormand, and having it come off as natural as it did, it's an accomplishment of directing and acting at the least,
For show.
So there you go.
Faux show. Okay, let's move on to documentary feature. maybe the greatest moment of the night at the Oscars.
The definitely one of the most memorable.
So, as I thought, my Octopus teacher took home the Oscar.
Mm-hmm. As I also thought, but didn't.
Yeah, but you didn't want that to happen. A great moment, and then the dude gets up on the stage and makes a speech, and at the end of his speech, he said, "This is not verbatim, but something along the lines of, if a octopus and a man can become friends, then anything is possible."
Anything is possible.
And that was just, I mean, that's fucking killer.
That's a great
That
line.
will live forever.
Oh, man.
And that already has become a big meme.
Yeah.
From the Oscars last Sunday. And I'm sure we'll keep that going for as long as we can.
As long as we can.
And then in classic Staggy fashion, we have to acknowledge greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if a movie about an octopus can win an Oscar, then anything is possible.
Including
a
Staggy.
Winning a Staggy.
And
Congratulations to my Octopus teacher for winning the Staggy for Best Documentary Feature.
Who's your Octopus teacher?
The one from Nemo? Or Dory. The one from Dory.
Oh. I was thinking Shark Tale.
Oh, yep. Good one. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Film editing. The Academy gave this one to The Sound of Metal.
And the Staggy goes too.
And the Staggy will also go to The Sound of Metal. Just great job overall editing that film.
Yeah. I mean, I already mentioned the editing and the scene where Paul Raci should have won.
Exactly.
So there you have it.
Moving on to international feature film.
Mm-hmm.
Another round. Basically a shoo-in to win. Took the dub at the Oscars.
Of course.
And, we're big fans of another round here on the Staggies.
Big fans of Metallica at the Staggies.
So, congratulations.
Thomas Vinterberg and another round
for winning the Staggy for international feature film.
Great
job.
job. I like to see Mads Mikkelsen do a little dance. Drink a beer.
Yes.
I'm thinking about trying it. What do you think? Getting drunk just a little bit all the time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll do the next
Little
show
did
like
you
that.
know. I'm already drunk, Cap. That's my secret. No, I'm not. I think it's illegal.
Really?
No, I think it's against Twitch TOS to be drunk on stream.
Interesting.
But they don't gotta know.
Yeah, right? We'll move on to the next category. Original score.
Here we go.
Now, we did something interesting here.
So
at the Oscars, Soul won for original score, which is, I would have gave it to Minari out of the nominees. But Soul won, whatever, that's cool.
it's good music.
But here at the Staggies, we can kind of do whatever we want because we invented this. We make the rules.
We did. We own 50%, each of us.
And so we're going to...
Do you want the Stag or do you want the Geese? Which half do you own?
I want the Stag.
Okay, I got Geese. Geese nuts.
So something very special we're going to do here is, we don't have to award a Staggy to something that was nominated for an Oscar. We can award anything we want.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is the great film Tenet.
Tenet, which just dropped on HBO Max.
Amazing, actually.
Damn.
Time to rewatch.
Yeah, with subtitles.
Yes, please. We're going to give the original score Staggy to Tenet because, number one, it's crazy it wasn't nominated in the first place.
It's pretty banging.
Because the score is banging in that.
Yeah.
If you ever just, get up on Spotify and go to the Tenet original motion picture soundtrack and listen to Freeport.
That the good one?
That's the one. So I don't know. Tenet, congratulations. And also, let me just say, if the Staggies existed however many years ago, 7 years ago, Interstellar would have won also because that was one of the biggest travesties ever is when Interstellar lost. And also The Shape of Water would not have won. Who did that? Who did Shape of Water beat? We were just
Phantom
so
Thread.
Mad. Yes, Phantom Thread wins a Staggy.
Yes.
Congratulations to Phantom Thread for winning the Staggy for Best Original
Retroactive Staggies.
Because that was absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, fantastic stuff. We're going to move on to production design here.
Mm-hmm.
Mank won at the Oscars.
Great. Fantastic.
Job, Mank. I mean, just incredible job from everyone there. The Staggies, we're going to be switching it up a little bit here.
Switching it up just a tiny bit.
We're going to be giving the Staggy to the father. Now, I know what you're thinking.
It's just a flat.
It's just a flat.
Yeah. It's not even around.
Explain to them what makes the father so great.
Well, listen, The Father is a story about a man struggling with his dementia. So using the production design not only as the setting for the film, but also a way of telling the story in of itself is an accomplishment, I believe. You know, just having the actual setting of the film tell you things about what's happening, you know, other than they're in a flat. You know, just building on that an extra level. And as he degrades further and further through his dementia and Alzheimer's, you see it reflected in his surroundings. And it's just, you keep up with what's going on. And it's like, wow, this is another dimension of the storytelling that's completely nonverbal, you know? So there you have it.
Congratulations to the father for winning the Staggy for Best Production Design.
Le Père.
I do want to say, I
Yeah.
forgot to note earlier,
Sure.
that we are not including, I already said that we combined costume design and makeup. But we're also, we just are Xing out original song, the worst category ever.
Hate it.
And we're also Xing out all of the short films. So documentary short, animated short, live action short. We love those.
Although we should mention that we have now seen all of the live action and animated short films, which we hadn't
That is
the
true.
previous show. Nothing to say about them. I thought the I don't know if you can read it, but it was the French one, you know, that was super
Genius Los.
Yeah. That one was very interesting. And we also really liked Opera.
Opera was very good.
Those were both very, very cool. But yeah, we're not talking about those ones for the Staggies.
Yeah. Next up for the Staggies, we're going to do the sound category. The sound category, just this year, the first year, they combined them from, it used to be sound mixing and sound editing. Now it's just sound. You know.
That's fine.
That's fine. The Oscars gave it to Sound of Metal. Obviously.
Yeah.
The Staggies, we're going to follow in
No
foot.
choice, really.
I mean, just watch Sound of Metal and you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Or just read the title.
Exactly. Now we're getting on to visual effects. Now, Tenet won at the Oscars. Big win for Tenet.
Good for you, Chrissy.
For best visual effects. But we spoke of this film last week on the Stagler, and we're gonna have to give the Staggies to or the Staggy for best visual effects to The Midnight Sky.
The Midnight Sky,
directed by George
you guys.
Clooney. I mean, it's
Also known as Space.
Right.
Alternative title.
It's just a very, very beautiful. I would highly recommend.
Yeah, you'd think they just shot on location.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all there is to it, really. Just don't look too closely at the suits, and you're good.
Yeah, and then you're chilling.
You're great.
We're gonna do adapted screenplay now.
Okay.
Now at the Oscars, I think this was like the first one they. This was like the first thing they did at the Oscars was adapted screenplay. Am I wrong?
I don't remember. It was early though.
Yeah, it was like real early, if not the first one. They gave it to the father.
Yeah.
Which great choice because guess what? The Staggy for best adapted screenplay also goes to the father.
Oh man.
Just really solid stuff overall.
Just this. Obviously, the story itself is great, and just the viewpoint is so special and important. But the idea of putting this in the adapted screenplay category as an adaptation, it is a feat of taking it from the stage to the screen,
right,
and making it such a clear and smooth transition. You know, you might think either it'd come first. You know,
right.
So as an adaptation, it is just a real accomplishment, which is why it wins for the Staggy.
Heck yeah! Congratulations. Now for our second to last category. We're doing original screenplay. Well, we have some extra Staggies that we'll get to
Should we
later.
go through the ones that are X just to say who won the Oscar, like the live action and stuff? Live action was Two Distant Strangers, short film.
Right, yes.
The animated was If Anything Happens, I Love You.
Right. And then the documentary
Colette.
was Colette, which was interesting, I thought.
Yeah, that was one that I wasn't expecting. An original song
No,
was...
no. Don't even say it. The other ones I like. But
Okay.
No original song will be spoken about.
Who knows who won
Who knows
what
who
category?
won that? I don't know. For original screenplay, it went to Promising Young Woman at the Oscars, as expected.
Yeah.
That was cool. Whatever. The Staggies were really going crazy.
Going
with this
crazy.
one. The Staggy for Best Original Screenplay goes to a film called Black Bear. Congratulations to Black Bear for winning a Staggy.
What a crazy win. Who'd seen it coming? Black Bear.
If you've been a fan of the show for a while, I'm sure you heard Justin talk
talks
about Black Bear. I don't know when. It was a while ago, though.
Quite a long time. But Black Bear, guys, you're literally watching a screenplay be written. That's cool. That's interesting. That's it's unique, you know?
It's original.
It's original screenplay. Wow. But yeah, guys, that goes to Black Bear. Obviously we're the real deal here because who else is, giving out these accolades on this prestigious level, you know? So there you have it, guys.
Congratulations, Black Bear, for winning the Staggy.
Damn. Incredible.
Now let's move on to Best Picture. Obviously, I said it a couple times already. Nomadland won Best Picture. That was pretty obvious. Yep. Me personally, I really tried to make the push for The Vast of Night to win the Staggy this year.
Yeah.
But Justin wasn't hearing it.
No.
So we came to a consensus, and we're giving the Staggy for Best Picture to Minari. Well deserved. I agree.
Yes, of course.
Just a great film.
Colonel Weaver.
This is what he did after beating the aliens.
Right. This is the part of the new world that they're all building together. Is
exactly
the farming in Arkansas in the 1950s.
So that was just great.
Fantastic
stuff.
Minari. Great Mountain Dew ad as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really are hankering for one by the end of it. Even if you are thinking of piss.
Yeah.
You still want to drink it.
So congratulations to Minari for winning the Staggy for Best Picture.
It's kind of a big deal.
Wow, the first winner ever.
First winner, Minari. That makes me feel good in my chest. That makes me feel warm. That
We're off to a good start here.
There, you know?
We're off to a good start.
That's awesome. But that's not the end of the Staggies.
Right, it's not the end. We have multiple.
We have awards that the Oscars are too cowardly to touch.
They won't even give them out.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it.
We're going to do it right here, right now.
Starting off with the number one category that should be at the Oscars.
100%.
Best stunt choreography.
Yes. Thank you.
What in the world? These people literally risk their lives for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. Anyway, the Staggies, far more prestigious than the Oscars.
Right,
we're going to recognize them. For the best stunt choreography, it's going to go to my man George Cottle.
Yes, George.
Everyone knows who that is. I don't even need to say what movie.
Don't need to say what movie. It's obvious. George Cottle.
Yeah. He worked on Tenet. If you've seen Tenet, you know.
Yeah.
You know that stunt's going crazy.
To get people, to train them to catch bullets in a gun, that's incredible.
That was crazy. But just having people learn fight scenes backwards, that the way someone there's that part where the one dude's fighting normally, but the other dude's fighting in reverse.
Yeah,
the way
and
they
even
handle that is just really cool.
Even if you're just designing them separately forward and then mixing them together, whatever the process was, and just with near the end with all the bodies they had as well.
Yeah.
It's just great stuff, and it's when you talk about stunt, that definitely goes into more of the visual marvel of things of filmmaking, and it accomplishes that because that's what Tenet was all about, was just wow, look at this.
Yeah. Really awesome. They drove a plane into a building.
Yeah, for realsies.
Anyway, we have more categories here. We have a category for the Staggies, the best non-human performance. So anything that is not a human performing. We're gonna give the stag. This is incredible.
This is a great one.
This is incredible.
Oh.
Congratulations to the Octopus from my Octopus teacher for winning the Staggy for best non-human performance.
We
Just
will be
amazing.
accepting this award on her behalf. It's a posthumous award, obviously, but it's great
Just incredible.
for her. We tried to contact her 8,000 babies, but we couldn't get back to them. So,
But just really great stuff.
if a man can make friends with an octopus,
Anything is possible.
like an octopus,
Octopus winning a
staggy,
Staggy. Exactly.
there you have it.
Okay. We also have a category for best voice performance.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is where things are going to get a little special because
It gets a little gross. It gets a little funky.
the Staggies, we're not held down by natural law.
Okay.
We can do whatever we want. We
By
invented.
mortal order.
We invented.
We ascend.
This. We invented this. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So guess what? We don't have to acknowledge just movies. We can do anything else.
Yeah.
So the Staggy for best voice performance is going to Steven Yeun for Invincible.
What? That's a television show on the Amazon Prime.
What in the world?
That's crazy. We're not held down by movies or television. Well,
Yeah.
probably just movies and television. I don't
Right.
know what else we would extend to, but who knows?
I guess the voice performance we could give to a video game performance.
we could do that. So
maybe in the future.
maybe in the future we could get that kicking off.
Yeah, interesting. We also have, this is a very nice thing that we did. We have a best comedy category because comedy's far overlooked in
This
the
year
Academy.
we had one comedy get a nomination, and it was for an award that we shall not speak of.
Yes.
So really, they get nothing.
So yeah, just ridiculous. The Staggy for best comedy goes to Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
I mean,
it is
on.
a time loop tale that was obviously popular in the Oscars because was the live action short was also a time loop.
Mm-hmm.
Which won.
Yep.
So it's that taking that idea and just kind of digging a little bit deeper, having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, making
getting
it
a
funny.
little almost like demented, like kind of the dark side of having no consequences, even digging into that side of things. It's fun, charming, a lot of great chemistry.
Great film.
Great comedy.
It won the Staggy.
Watch it and laugh. That's all you got to do. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, with the freak, man. And for the last Staggy award we have to give out, we have an award for best new show.
What does that mean?
Best new TV show. So a TV show that's new.
Okay, why does it have to be new?
Because that's more fun.
Oh, fair enough.
And we don't want, like
If Mr. Robot was still coming out, it would win every year.
exactly. And we don't want that.
So we want to keep things
We wanna
fresh.
keep things nice and fresh. So for the first ever Staggy for best new show, we're gonna give it to Devs
Oh, Alex Garland.
from Alex Garland on Hulu. You can watch it.
It is a limited series, so it's over.
Yeah, limited series. It's over. You can just watch it. It's just chilling there. Just I talked about it many times on the show. Very interesting show. Really gets your brain going.
Yeah.
If you're into that stuff. It's got Nick Offerman in it.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah. So
He still got the mustache.
yeah, he's got like the whole thing going.
Oh, nice.
Really solid
Evolved.
stuff. So yeah, congratulations to all of the Staggy winners. But
Yes.
wait, hold on.
Whoa, what?
That's not it.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. You may have heard of a certain award show called the Razzies.
Oh, sounds familiar.
They give awards to bad films
Oh, interesting. Why would you want to award a bad film?
just for fun.
Okay.
So we're going to follow in tow a little bit. We have the Stazzies.
That's very original. I love it.
We have 3 categories in the Stazzies. We have worst picture, worst performance, and best worst picture.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay.
So, we have worst picture, a movie that's like just terrible. And then in best worst picture, we have a movie that's terrible, but also just great.
Great to watch, but it's bad in your heart.
Uh-huh. So, the Stazzie for worst picture
Of the year.
goes to The Turning.
Oh my gosh. The
Who saw it
Turning.
coming?
Do we still snap?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, The
Maybe.
Turning.
Just
Congratulations
incredible.
on being the worst picture of the year.
Just a great job.
So The Turning it stars what's the leading lady?
Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis, Finn Wolfhard,
Brooklyn Prince.
Brooklyn Prince. That's basically it.
The trio.
And she is she's babysitting these like rich kids, right? And then things go a little wonky in rich kid town.
Yep.
And that's the rest of the movie. It's like a horror movie, or I've heard it's supposed to be one.
Yep. It's really scary.
And yeah, it just maybe fell a little flat to say.
It was like one of the last movies we saw before lockdown.
In the theater, exactly. Yeah.
So just interesting experience.
It was one of those experiences where I remember the credits rolled and there was about silence for 10 seconds, and then I heard like 3 distinct groups in the theater say, "What just happened?"
They were like, everyone was just so confused, and like everyone just kind of stood up. We all just kind of like
looked at each other, and we were like, "Did all of us miss something?" Or just trying to look for any piece of information to make the movie make sense. But you know, they won a Stazzie.
They won a Stazzie. Congratulations to The Turning.
Alrighty.
Okay, moving on to worst performance.
Okay.
Interesting.
So the whole year,
The Stazzie for worst performance goes to Finn Wolfhard in The Turning.
Oh my
gosh.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I remember when we first saw the trailer for this movie in the theater, it had Finn Wolfhard. And so I feel like he was in the trailer a bit because, Stranger Things fame and everything to get people in.
Yeah.
And there's just so many quotes that I just remember him saying that I was
killer.
like, it's awful. Like he stomps on like a fish or something and looks at the camera and goes, nothing should have to suffer. And of course, a lot of bad performances can be credited to the writing.
Right.
But man, was it not a great one?
Yeah.
We're
not huge Finn Wolfhard fans here.
Hey, he's young. He's got time, Maybe one day he'll be a Timothy Chalamet.
You never know, I guess.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Kinda. They got the same, like, vibe. One's pulling it off better than the other, but the other one's, like, 10 or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know if they got the same vibe. But anyway, congratulations to Finn Wolfhard for winning the first ever Stazzie for worst performance.
Congratulations. Finn, if I had to say anything to you, I'd say keeping the lights on won't keep you safe. I know what you're afraid of.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So that means we have the one Stazzie left.
We have one Stazzie left to give out. We have the best worst picture.
So think of a movie like the Room,
right?
Where
Yeah,
it's
The Room with
objectively
Tommy Wiseau.
awful. But there's still some kind of comedy or something to be found.
Something
within
to
it,
latch on to.
Something that'll give you pleasure.
And here we go.
What do we got?
The winner for best worst picture at the Stazzies goes to The Turning. Oh my God! There's no way.
A three-peat.
The Turning three-peated.
There's no way that it will literally tie with if any other movie, the best it can do is tie. That means The Turning is just forever reigning
at the
Stazzie
top.
king.
Unless we add more Stazzie categories.
But wow, The Turning just really pulling it off.
The three-peat.
Can you watch The Turning somewhere? Would you mind looking that up?
I don't know.
I have no idea if it's anywhere, if anybody wants it, or if it's just gone. It probably doesn't even have a DVD release.
Let's see.
The Turning.
The Turning. Wait for it to load.
Yeah, let's see if there's
great
anywhere.
Stuff. Great stuff.
Brooklyn Prince right there on the cover, on the poster.
Here we go.
Let's see.
Looks like you can stream it on DirecTV, Fubo TV, and Showtime.
Alrighty. Well, if you have any of those,
And you can rent or buy it on Amazon.
on the normal ones,
normal
sure.
stuff. Apple, whatever. So if you have Showtime, I guess you can stream it on Showtime.
Which
Because I don't know what Fubo TV is.
me neither. Fucked up beyond Omega.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Just this review says, I was like, Lamau, imagine if the credits started rolling right now. And then they did.
That is kind of how you feel, though, isn't it?
So just really solid stuff for The Turning overall. Just great work. Directed by Floria Sigismondi.
Good work.
Great
Good job.
stuff.
Yeah, take care.
It got on Letterboxd, it has a 1.7 out of 5.
Nice. That's
rated by 14,969 ratings.
It's not too bad. Hey, I will definitely be following the next movies from this director.
Oh, for sure.
And see what happens.
There's 151 people that gave this a 5 out of 5 stars.
What is wrong with them?
How many of those people did it ironically?
151.
Just that's an interesting little fact there.
That is interesting.
Anyway, congratulations to The Turning for sweeping
the Stazzies this year. That'll be a tough one to beat.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be. I don't know what can
For
do
sure.
it, but we'll have to keep an eye out and just make sure.
We will on the next Stazzies next year. Stazzies/Staggies.
Next year it'll be about this time again, and it'll be a great show. Maybe we'll try to do some upgrading. Maybe we'll get clips in there next year.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be really, really fun, especially for the ones that weren't Oscar nominated this year. You know, like The Turning
Like
and
The Turning,
Black
unfortunately,
Bear,
got totally ripped off.
So we could definitely look into that, but we've got to move on now.
Yep,
So,
that does it.
that does it for the
The
big
Staggies,
old
man.
show.
That means we get to move on to the reviews of the week.
Yes,
One of our favorite segments here.
we love it.
So let's get right into it. I'll go first. This is a real short one, but I thought it was funny.
Okay.
1 out of 10. Boring. Almost fell asleep. So, I started watching a Formula 1 race in the cinema on my phone.
Oh my god. I think I saw this movie with this guy. I don't know. We talked about so many movies. There's really nothing there for me to go off of.
No guesses?
In the cinema? What was showing in the cinema? No guesses.
It's Demon Slayer, Mugen Train.
Oh, Demon Slayer. Why would you watch Formula 1 and okay.
Dude was watching the Demon Slayer movie and just took out his phone and started watching Formula 1 racing.
I'll be honest, I didn't think Formula 1 and anime would be like something that would coexist. I feel like you're into one or the other.
Hey, well,
This man is built different.
he is quite literally built different.
That's quite interesting. Mine's pretty short too.
Okay.
0 stars.
Wait, 0?
0 stars. And it spoils it in the review here.
Okay.
It took courage for me to go see The Devils, just like it took courage for Ken Russell to make it. This
Nice.
is 0 stars from Roger Ebert himself,
Oh, the Raj.
who is not a big fan.
Not a
Didn't
fan of
give
The
out
Devils.
0 stars very often,
Yeah, yikes.
but he did it for this one.
wow, Raj.
He has a whole review which was just an amazingly sarcastic, being like, "Wow, this film so brave to show naked young women on screen for 20 minutes."
We
Good
love
old Roger
Raj.
Ebert, even though I disagree with his overall takeaway.
Mm,
It was a different time.
it was.
Who knows how I'd feel about it now? I don't know. I didn't know the guy personally.
Neither did I. Yeah, okay.
Reviews of the week.
Hey, you know what that means? Did you know that you listener,
You not me.
listen?
You.
Did you know that you can email us at the Stagler pod@gmail.com. You can email us a question. You can email us a recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to say in the email, just email us. We'll look at them. We'll read them. We'll read them on the show.
Yeah, if they're appropriate.
So yeah, you can do that. thestaglerpod@gmail.com. And we have an email here.
That says,
yeah, read it.
"What's up, guys?
What's up,
Obviously,
man?
you two clearly seem to enjoy collecting merchandise and other fun stuff. If you're
Right,
watching in
yes.
front of us, we have a Baby Yoda, a Black Phillip Funko, a R2D2 who is just straddling Baby Groot,
Mm-hmm. Who's given the
Given
double
the
bird.
double bird to R2D2, and Jaws Funko, which is actually maybe the only good Funko because it's a shark, so its eyes aren't really off-putting.
Right.
So,
And then we have Marilyn.
Then we have Marilyn as well, a full-size stand-up, totally intact.
Yeah, top of the line right here.
Yeah, it's pretty dang good. Life-size as far as I can tell. Who knows?
Yeah.
We have posters on the wall. We got Boondock Saints, Some Like It Hot, Dark Knight, Day the Earth Stood Still. I know we have Parasite and Arrival up there.
We got VHS
Joker.
tapes. We have the Indiana Jones trilogy on VHS.
Back to the Future, E.T. Got some alien stickers.
We got it all.
There's a Spider-Man thing somewhere. Anyway, do you two have a favorite thing that you'd like to show off or talk about besides Marilyn, of course? Well, sorry. I'm a big fan of Black Phillip myself. Thanks. Well, yeah, everyone's a fan of Black Phillip.
Yeah.
It's great.
Who doesn't?
Even though he can't stand upright on any surface at any elevation.
Yeah, he's got to be leaning on something.
He's still got a lot of chutzpah, that kid. So
He
what?
does.
Do you have any merch at home that maybe is too precious to bring to the show that you care about or anything like that?
So I have a Groot and a Baby Yoda that are like, the Baby Yoda is probably like this big, so almost life size.
Oh yeah, it's pretty big.
And then I have a Baby Groot who's about the same size, and they sit next to each other, and it's like just a duo of absolute cuteness. And they just kind of sit there on my coffee table. They're not too precious to bring in here, but I don't know. They're just the coffee table type of thing.
Yeah.
I love them both very dearly.
I'm not sure I have any merchandise that's like collectibles necessarily. I have cool shirts. Like I'm actually wearing a Destroy All Monsters shirt right now, or War of the Monsters. My bad. It was like a PS2 game.
Nice.
This is from that. And I've worn shirts around before that were like references to whatever, like a Breaking Bad shirt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But actual merchandise, I have the pilot episode of Game of Thrones script signed, which is very cool. I have that
How did you
framed.
acquire that? I wonder.
I forget. It must have not been that important.
Wow. For anyone wondering, I gave that to him for his birthday.
It was a fantastic gift. I have a little David Lynch wood like keychain thing.
How did you come across that one?
Pretty sure I found it in the trash.
Interesting.
What I guess I'm saying is I don't buy myself merch, but I like being bought merch by the people.
You know what he got me? A video from a sex offender.
Yeah, and how many of them are there like it? That sex offender loves you only. Sometimes life just has a way of, going on despite whoever you offend sexually. So, what can you say? But I do have the Witch screenplay
Oh yeah, the
book thing.
screenplay books. Yeah,
Those are pretty neat. Some of the
I have an Ex Machina one. That's
right.
really cool.
Some of the formatting of those books is a little weird. Like when they do the two-sided pictures, it doesn't really turn out well if something's center frame because then it's the spine of the book.
Right.
Other than that, they're very, very neat. They have some like concept art, at least in the Witch one. Very cool. That's definitely a coffee table thing for me. And also bought some of those A24 candles that are like genre scented.
Yeah, those were cool.
Those are very
Mine
neat.
ran out, but I still have it just like sitting there.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, as far as merch, I guess I don't have too much of stuff that is just, it is what it is, and that's it,
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe in the future, maybe I'll get a Minari statue of Colonel Weaver carrying a cross.
Oh, that would be cool.
Then he speaks. He goes, pull a string.
That would be funny. I'm trying to think about anything else.
I know you have a little ship.
Oh, my ship.
Yeah.
My Rocinante.
Mm-hmm.
Little, what's it called? Like a
model.
like a
diorama
model.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Of the Rossi from The Expanse in front of, I think it's Saturn or Jupiter. It's one
Something
of them.
like that.
Anyway, it's really cool. Just kind of like hangs there. Looks really dope. Don't know how I got that one. So, that was just like kind of like whatever.
It just showed up one day. From space, I bet.
Yeah, probably
Maybe
just
it's
kind
a
of
real ship. And they're all just really tiny.
Probably just kind of flew down. I have like a million posters. They're all really cool.
Yeah, a lot of
I don't know if I have a
posters.
favorite one. So yeah.
I guess
a lot of cool
we should
stuff.
also say that the Black Phillip and the Jaws are mine, and the rest are Nick's. The Yoda and the R2D2 and the Groot.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. In the future, we'll keep you guys updated. If I get a life-size Mandalorian statue with detachable helmet and cuirass and boots and stuff, I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Or if I buy that life-size or double life-size David Hasselhoff.
Right.
Still, who knows? It's still up in the air. I might get it. Got to keep betting 1 penny up. But for now, that'll do it. Next time, guys, we have another pretty big episode.
This is gonna be a huge episode.
Huge.
We've had some long episodes lately. This one was actually pretty short.
Yeah, relatively speaking, yeah.
But I'm almost certain that the next episode is gonna be a long one because finally it's happening.
Yeah.
We're finally doing our Marvel Cinematic Universe episode. All of the movies, all the way up to Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, I think we'll be cutting it off at Far From Home because at least I've been told that that's like the epilogue to everything that's happened.
Yeah.
And everything past Far From Home is new.
So, if you've been following the show since basically like the first episode, you know that we have many thoughts about Marvel in general, but specifically Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
The Endgame talk is finally coming. Spoiler alert, we don't like it.
Hey, maybe on a rewatch, I'll love it.
Maybe on the rewatch, we'll see.
Maybe on a rewatch, I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong. Marcus Scorchez was also wrong. Guys, it's just Marvel movies just take a level of IQ that is so far above whatever Marty Skrupinski thinks. You know, he's just not smart enough to understand Marvel movies.
Yeah, he just doesn't get it.
Marvel movies, you know, it's just the characters are so intense and like so sophisticated. And yeah, you can point at one character and say that's the bad guy, but like, you know, it's just on a different level.
Heightened thinking. 4D chess.
4D chess for the Marvel. Yeah. What are you planning on rewatching, if I can just ask right now?
Obviously I'll rewatch Endgame, unfortunately.
Right.
Let me think. I'll probably do like the Guardian, like one of the Guardians movies, just because I like those. Probably Thor Ragnarok, not the first two. I'll tell you that.
See, I was thinking about going back to the first one because I remember really disliking it, but I also remember it being different, so maybe I would like it more now.
Oh, interesting. Not Captain Marvel.
No.
God, not Captain Marvel.
No.
Maybe Black Panther.
Yeah. I'm definitely going back to Winter Soldier because I remember that being one of my favorites.
Yep, but
We'll see
probably
if that
do Winter
holds up.
Soldier, Civil War, maybe.
Civil War, perhaps.
I
already watched Iron Man. It's probably
I've
my
seen
most
Iron
watched
Man's, like,
Marvel
a whole
movie.
bunch. Maybe I'll see Iron Man 2. Maybe I just look up some clips, maybe.
2 or 3, yeah.
I feel like there's like a big
Incredible
one that I'm
Hulk.
missing. Incredible Hulk, I might. I probably will, but I might.
Might not.
Know. Not the Avengers, not Age of Ultron.
Definitely. Well, maybe I should because I've seen WandaVision, but I don't think I will.
I'll probably do Infinity War just because that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely going to revisit all of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to see if I
Still
still like them a lot.
Mm.
And I don't want to watch my least favorites just because that sounds awful, but we'll see what happens.
Right, yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Oscars/Staggies
The Staggies
episode. I think we can definitely bump up the production design for next year.
Oh yeah.
We can get the actors to actually come in and accept their awards, or at least over Zoom. You know, Vanessa Kirby would have, but I heard that she doesn't know what the internet is.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of rough for her. Don't know how that works. But that'll do it for now. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks on Saturday. We'll be back to our normal.
We'll be back to our normal time.
Schedule Saturdays at 3 p.m. every other week. It's a bi-weekly show here, as in every other, not twice a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Every fortnight.
Every fortnight. Exactly. Good job.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But that'll do it for today, guys. Can't wait. Maybe you can rewatch some Marvel movies that you like.
Yeah.
Get your opinions ready because obviously they're very popular. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with us about a lot of things. So get your arguments ready. Ready to thrash us and destroy us.
Yeah, email us.
With facts and logic. But until then, bye-bye.
See ya.